Come with me if you want to live. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the premiere episode, series, season. I don't even know what to call it. It's all the things. We are T Squared, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, as you can clearly see, I'm not the only Tina here tonight. There's another one with me. My co-host, my other partner in crime. Russ is my partner channel in crime. Miss Tina is my partner in crime for this series.
Yeah, because I don't do channels.
Yeah, she doesn't do channels. So I was like, you know what? We got to make this happen anyway. So T Squared. This is our debut night, and we are going to be doing this every other Saturday. So not next Saturday, but the Saturday after at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And each night we'll have a different topic. Tonight we are going to be discussing an adult Disney trip versus a trip with kids. And so we have some special guests here with us today. But before I bring them in, I'm going to get the chat real quick. And I want to say, Tina, thank you so much for doing this with me. I mean...
Well, thank you for inviting me.
I mean, what other Tina would I even think to do this with? You know, we had so many people in chat say we should do a show together and calling us T Squared or the Tinas.
Yeah,
or
they were coming up with a bunch of names, weren't they? Yes,
they were. I mean, you guys are absolutely amazing. And we said, you know, I messaged Tina a couple weeks ago and I said, you want to start something? And here we are.
And it wasn't a fight.
Right. Okay. That can get me a copyright if I keep going with that.
Yeah,
song.
don't. Be careful. Be careful.
All right. So let's get to chat. First, we have Mr. Francisco. I really need Tracy's voice here for that. Welcome in, Francisco. And also in chat, Miss Tina McNeil as well. As Ryan, Captain Akron, finally nailing the name. It's a miracle. Mike Wheeler. Hi, Mike. There will be no balloons tonight, Mike. I'm just warning you. Disinfinity, Daniel. Good to see you, Daniel.
He's probably so disappointed.
I know he is. I'm sorry, Mike.
Now you need Mr. T? No, I don't think so.
Welcome in, Amy. AGC Magic TV. Was I'm gonna be silent. Wait till we bring in our guests. Happily Ever Yadi. Hey, Yadi. Yadi's going live tonight at 9 o'clock with her Shopaholics with Miss Arlene from The Adventures of VP, and I'm so excited for that. And I'm going to scroll down. We have Garrett. Nope. Michelle. Oh, no, it is Garrett. Michelle's cutting his hair, and he's screaming and kicking. Oh, my gosh. We need pictures, Garrett. We've got Dawn Hitchhiking Bones. Welcome in. Good to see you. Rhonda, DWG Adventures. Welcome in. And I'm almost at the bottom. Kadani Sean. Hey, Sean. Jumbo Sean.
Hi, Jumbo Sean.
Mary. Hey, Mary. Good to see you. And I'm almost at the bottom. And, oh, it skipped on me. But we have Teresa Martin. Hey, Teresa. Welcome in. And hey, all the teeners. Wait, I gotta.
Yes, I love it.
Noah. Hey, Noah. Welcome in. Okay, and we've arrived to the bottom of chat. I'm gonna bring in our special guest today. You ready for this amazing panel? Because I know we are. First, we have. Oops, my mouse skipped on me now.
Oh no!
And I was gonna add this wonderful human being, but it didn't want me to. So, welcome in, Russ, from What in the World with Russ, my partner channel in crime.
I'm also a T because my first name is Timothy.
That's true.
Oh, I did not know that. So
you can be the Mr. T.
Okay, I don't know math that well. What's T times 3? T, it's not squared.
Yeah, I'm not good at this either.
We're Trace Leches.
Okay.
Okay, and my next guest we have our
Yeah, I was
next
going to
guest,
say, just go on. Just go on.
AGC Magic TV, also on screen with us today. Thank you so much for being here, Amy. And we have Dawn from Hitchhiking Bones. Welcome in, Dawn. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And next we have Mr. Dad Bites, aka Chris Dad Builds himself. Thanks so much for being here, Chris. Also the creator of that wonderful intro. If you missed the intro, go back and check it out.
And he did it in like 10 minutes.
Seriously.
Yes.
Seriously,
yes.
we got off Russ's stream and Russ was like, "Oh, Chris, hurry, go make an intro." Right, I'm on it. So literally just whipped that together and that was great. We have some new people that just came in. I want to welcome in John. Hey John, good to see you.
Hey,
And I want to
John,
welcome in Arnie. I'm doing some weeding for a cricket t-shirt. Ooh,
Ooh.
that sounds fun.
Mary's here, and she said it's T cubed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
TQ.
cube.
That makes sense. Yadi says, Amy, it's nice to put a face to the name. And Amy has her own channel, guys. Go check out AGC Magic TV if you don't know Amy's channel. She does a lot of really cool things. And trivia.
Doing
Orlando.
trivia games.
Yeah.
And
Pittsburgh, the Jeff always
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Traveling, yes.
Yep. A Disney store, although now that's gonna come to a
Gone.
close, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, that was so sad.
I know.
I just have to go visit Stacy Rogers out east.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Joy S. I'm not sure if I welcomed you in, but if I did, then welcome in again.
I gotta do this.
And hey, Anna Isabel, welcome in. And I think we are all caught up again. Okay, so we have a couple of topics. We have one topic tonight.
We have a few topics lined up.
We got a few topics lined up. But
Yes.
for tonight, we are discussing a Disney trip with kids versus just an adult Disney trip. And we're talking like small kids.
So places to get drunk with your kids and or without, right?
No, I knew I shouldn't have invited you in this trip.
Nope.
Yeah, nope. So
How to drink around the world with children.
how to successfully drink around the world, not get drunk with children. Oh, Lord have mercy. No. Well, but that question, might come up, later on,
Yeah.
will you have the drink or whatnot, or whatever. All right, but first, let's go around and I'll pose the question to you guys. How do you plan for dinner? So first, I want you to say, do you just adult Disney or do you Disney with kids? Or have you done both? Have you done either, or have you done both? So we'll start with Tina, and then we'll go around clockwise and back to me. How's that?
Okay, I've always done Disney adult trips. We don't have any children, and the closest I ever came to having children anywhere near me at Disney, other than the ones that I don't know, are dinner or lunch or whatever several years ago at the Rainforest Cafe for a couple of hours. Other than that, it's been adults only.
Awesome. Ross, how about you?
So most of the time it's me by myself. I have come with small kids within the family, and I planned that entire trip, and I'll kind of maybe talk a little bit about that when we get to that stuff, because it was very different. But yeah, most of the time it's been me by myself or with other adults. So yeah.
Okay. And real quick, I'm gonna welcome in Dennis Algazi. Welcome in, Dennis. Good to see you. Amy, how about you?
They are mainly adult trips, but I have traveled with my nieces and nephews when they were little, and they're now older teens and adults. So it's kind of a mixture, but a lot of times I do solo trips and meet up with other adults or go with other adults.
Awesome. And Dawn, how about you?
Well, while our boys were growing up, we have 3 boys, and while they were growing up, we took all, with kids. Obviously, that's why William, who, he's a partner in one of the Hitchhiking Bones. We
Partner
love
in crime.
Disney, so it had always been, a kids trip. But my first solo trip, guys, was, a lot of people don't even think about going to Disney without their kids. It's just not something that they really think about doing. And so I went solo. My husband had business in Florida, and it was, a few hours away from Disney. And I said, look, would you mind if I, while you take care of your business, if I go to Disney World? And he said, no problem. So in 2019, I went to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party for the first time. It was wonderful. And since then, now that I have grown children, I've gone with William a couple times, and now we get to start taking our grandchildren. So we'll swap from adult mode back into kid mode here pretty quick. So I've done both. I've done solo, I've done with other adults and kids, and they're all different. Russ is right on that.
Absolutely. And Chris, how about you?
So I thought I had never done a trip without kids. I always went as a kid, and recently I've taken my own 2 kids, but I happen to remember actually made a couple of trips while I was in college with a couple of friends. And yeah, that's
Awesome.
been a very long time ago.
How come you don't remember those trips?
College, long time ago.
Chris will be the
Guys.
drinking portion of the
Yes.
stream. No.
Over to you now, Tina.
Oh gosh. All right. So I've been to Disney 3 times. And it's interesting. I've been as a kid in 1992. I've been as an adult on my honeymoon with my husband with no kids. And then we took our kids for their first time in 2019. So I'm a 3-fer, I guess, if you want to. If Peppa Tree Villa says, did someone say drinks?
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly, yes.
Love it. James Ryan, welcome in. Good to see you.
Hey, James.
She says, what a great panel for this inaugural installment. A who is who of the community. Great to see you all. I love the way James words things. Like,
Me too.
he's
Yes.
just so eloquent and snazzy and like witty. I just absolutely love it. So Dennis says, pro tip, when the world is back to normal and you go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, look for the cast member handing out candy that has the biggest hands. Oh my gosh. That's brilliant, Dennis. I love
I
it.
must confess, I wouldn't have thought of that, Dennis. So.
No, but you know what? That's such a good point.
Well, by the
DTM.
end of the evening, they're dumping candy into your bag.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because they have to get rid of it.
Trying to
Yeah.
get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is too
Agreed, Dennis.
funny. Hey, Ange. I know that's Ange because of the emojis. Hey, Ange,
Yep.
welcome in.
Are you guys still driving?
They probably are.
probably so, but they're getting close. So,
Yeah, I think they're stopping for the night somewhere,
Yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, they're stopping
North
around
Carolina.
Charlotte. So.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so so the next question that we have is, I keep saying because I'm so used to my single show, but
No, it's okay because then I'm going to be doing the you do the one with the kids mainly, and
okay.
I'll
All
do
right.
the one with the adults. But it's still your show. It's you. It's still your show, your channel.
Footer, welcome.
I'm going to make that clear. Hi, Cricket.
I know, but it's our show, and you know. All right, so the next question on the docket is, how do you plan? So, I don't know if you want to discuss how you plan now versus how you planned with kids, or vice versa. If you went like I would be reversed because I would plan just for me and my husband, and now I plan for kids. So we'll go around the horn and we'll discuss how we plan now. So Tina, take it away.
Okay. What we do as far as the planning, I do most of the planning. My husband, he says, as long as you get me to Shula's for dinner one night, I don't care what we do. So if during the days when there were fast passes, I would decide what park we were going to, what fast passes we would pick, and all of that. And then he would kind of like either approve or not. I mean, I would still, as much as possible, I still include him in the trip. We also often go with friends, and again, all adults, but we go with a lot of friends, and we get together and we plan the trip. We have a trip, just the two of us, coming up in May, and then we have another trip coming up in December. That's going to be with, there's going to be 9 of us. So,
Wow.
but again, all adults. So it's, we say, okay, where are we going to go for dinner? We're not all connected at the hip, again, because we're all adults. We all say, okay, do you want to go here for dinner? We can go here for dinner, or that night you go and do what you want to do, and we'll do what we want to do, or whatever. So it kind of depends on what the couples want to do, or whatever. But yeah, I usually plan it right from the flights and everything else. So
Kim Stillworthy, welcome in, Kim. Good to see you. Just gonna get caught up on chat real quick, and I think, hey Cherie, good to see you, Cherie.
Cherie.
Did you see Dennis's comment?
No, hold on. Oops, why does it skip on me every time? Notice how Chris and Russ are separated in the classroom at opposite night. Dennis, you are very savvy. Can't take these two anywhere.
And if you do, you separate them by
Right.
Yeah.
Hey Danielle, Mickey's Girls, welcome in. Another great channel to check out.
Danielle.
Mickey's Girls is
Yes,
Danielle's
I just
amazing.
discovered them a few days ago.
The Loungefly Queen.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Harry and oh, it's Mark. I'm like not reading names, but I see Wonderful World of Walter, so I'm like, oh wait, read the rest of it, Tina. Hey Mark, welcome in. Another great channel too, Wonderful World of Walter. The little Wally is so adorable. My gosh.
Yeah.
He says, like the change of angle, Russ.
Well, I'm actually, and I'm not going to be building anymore because it's making too much noise. But I'm still working on my Hogwarts castle, so that's why the angle changed, because my camera, my table is full of Legos. So.
Lego. That's right. And if you missed that stream, Russ was live today at 3, and we built Lego, and it was fantastic. All right, so Russ, you're up. How do you plan now?
So, obviously, it's a little bit different now that I'm here. It's much different because I can just kind of get in the car and go. But before, when I would be, traveling down, it would be, okay, I would, and this is for when I was just doing my solo trips. I would figure out, okay, I want to stay at this hotel. And I would try to do things that I haven't done yet before. And so I would try and set a goal for each day. Okay, I want to get this thing done. And then if I can do this, and this also, then that's how my day was planned. But I'm very much more fluid. It's much easier to do that when you're by yourself. You can just kind of come and go. You don't have to plan every second of every day. But that's also fun, because I have also done. We took a trip with some family, a bunch of little cousins and kids. There were 13 of us that all came down, and they put me in charge of setting that trip up, because I had been so many times, and because at the time I was working for the company, and we could get into things that we couldn't do now. And so I was in charge of planning it, and so I basically made them each decide, okay, here's what's the number one thing that you want to do on this day at this park. And that's what you get to do, And so I would figure out how to plan that and schedule them. Now, whether or not that works when we got there, that's a different story that we can get into later. But the planning part of it is, I think that's the fun part of it. I mean, Disney World, when you come, there's a lot to plan, and there's a lot that you can do, but you can also still enjoy it if you don't have things planned. but it helps to have it all planned.
It does. Yeah.
Yes,
There's
definitely.
something. Real quick, I want to welcome in Jersey Mike. Welcome in, Mike. Good to see you. And Jay Nashville. Ooh, okay, got highlighted. Hey, Jay, welcome in.
Will.
If I
Yeah,
missed
Will.
anyone. And Will. Hey, Will. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Hey, Will. Like, oh man. Oh, whoops. And it chat skipped. Okay, I'm gonna click off something. All right, there we go.
Hey,
All right, so Amy, what?
I really wish we could do something about that skipping chat thing.
I know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
weird.
Let's do that. Go ahead, Chris. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, hey, Russ, James Ryan said in the chat that me and you look very good on screen.
Thank you.
And he said Tina's a
Wait.
natural, so
Are we bougie?
we're very bougie.
Very bougie.
That's
You're the guards on either end.
weird in the bougie crew. Oh man.
Hi, Carol.
Hey, welcome in, Carol. Good to see
Hello,
you.
Carol.
And all four not Tinas. Man, you guys did not disappoint tonight with the cracks. I love it. Oh man. All right. So Amy, how do
Speaking
you
of cracks,
no.
Hey,
That's a no. Okay. Amy,
No.
how do you play
Rules.
Disney?
Actually, my last couple trips, I basically planned on the fly. I found out when, like, I got a last minute annual pass holder preview of Galaxy's Edge. I was on the phone like 2 days before. Hey, can I get
Nice.
this resort? And go. I don't always do that. My usually planning, if I go solo, I pick a couple restaurants I definitely want to eat at, have the reservations. But being solo, a lot of times, I would just kind of go on the fly. And if I got hungry, I'd look on, and see what's available or find a nice quick service. They have up their game since like Pandora area with Satuli's Canteen and even a lot of the lounges now. I know my last trip in December of 2019, I bought the meal plan just because I wanted to make sure I had the meals and have dinner and everything like that. But there were times I was wishing I didn't have that meal plan because I saw like Corey Meets World eating wings at the Ale and Compass in their lounge. And I'm like, oh, I want to go do that. And I didn't want to waste my credits. So I didn't end up doing that. But now I don't know if I would do the meal plan the next time I would go if they were offering it. I know I'm not doing it on my next few trips throughout the year till if they brought it back. But if they even bring it back, I'm sure they will, but for in a different conception. But fast passes, I would look for some of the popular things if I knew ahead of time. I know the trips that I had planned that got canceled in 2020, I had the top rides that I wanted already planned out for that. In fact, my trips that I have on the burner right now on plan, I have my park reservations already in because of having an AP. So that way I'm at least guaranteed the parks that I want to go to on those days. And, and I see, granted, it'll be after Easter and that, but I've seen right now that the parks, and granted it's Easter, but how long after Easter is it going to be busy?
Yeah.
And they've been selling out in the parks.
Yeah, the reservations are selling out right now.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw there was a stream on at Animal Kingdom that, I mean, it was very open. There weren't a lot of people in there at all. Of course,
Yeah.
it was Animal Kingdom too. A lot of times Animal Kingdom isn't that crowded.
Yeah.
But
And that's what I wonder. I'm thinking Animal Kingdom to me, if I had the reservation, I'm going to be there in the morning. And now that you can park hop, I'm going to be switching. And that's what I'm guessing why it seems so empty in the evening. That people
Yes.
either left for the day or park hop because Epcot and the Magic Kingdom look crowded.
yes,
evening.
exactly. Yeah, I think that's the thing with Animal Kingdom. It's more of a morning park,
Yeah.
because they closed kind of early, so people were park hopping over to Epcot for the Flower and Garden afterwards. Sherry
And-
brings up a good point about when you're only planning as adults. Hi, Shelley. The she said, I don't know if you can pull up that comment, Tina. One nice thing about only having two people to plan a trip, if we want to change our minds and about going somewhere, it's not stressful. Like what you were talking about, Amy, with the dining plan. That's one of the things that I've always kind of thought of with a dining plan. It kind of gets stressful because you've got all these plans, and then you say, "Wait a minute, I don't want to do that," So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the first
Well,
time that I started thinking, like, why did I get the dining plan? But usually when we had it, it's always been a full plan trip because with the kids, when I travel with the kids, you want to make sure you have that sit down restaurant because they get hangry, and not even the kids, but the adults, but they get hungry earlier than the things. And we do carry little snacks and stuff with them, but yeah, you just want to make sure you have that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that might be something that we might want to come back and look
And
at.
revisit. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, you do plan
Hey,
differently.
Danny.
With my nieces and nephews trip, my sister would do most of the planning, but they would ask me. And then there's times I took the kids back into the parks for extra magic hours because mom and dad wanted to do something else or they were tired, but the kids still wanted to go.
Yeah.
And we had a good time one time.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those are some other questions that I hope that we come back and revisit as dining, and I want to. What kind of a show would this be if we didn't discuss naps? I mean, with or without kids. So we'll come back to that. So, Dawn, let us know, how do you plan?
Our planning has changed over the years. We have been to Disney a lot, as much as possible. When Jeff and I first started going, we planned ourselves, but that was back pre Magic Bands. It was still when walking up to the window and buying a ticket was a popular way to do it. So that's been a while. Then with the advent of Magic Bands and fast passes, dining reservations, your windows for making all of those reservations, it got a lot more complicated. So our planning has morphed over the years. And of course, now all of that is kind of out the window because of COVID, because everything has changed. So we, over the years, have really kind of tried to adjust with whatever was going on in the Disney community. We have been enough that we can easily plan ourselves. We can get on the 180-day window and make the ADRs, the dining reservations, and the fast passes, and what have you. But I will say, the past couple of years, we have used a travel agency. We've gone with Mickey Travels, and the reason for that is because the travel agents guys have a little window to Disney that we don't have, and they have been able to get us some dining reservations that we could not get ourselves. Oga's Cantina, we wanted a reservation for Oga's Cantina and also for California Grill at certain times, and we were going on every day looking for those, and to no avail. Our travel agent got those for us. So, I suggest, even if you're a pro, like most of us are at planning, the travel agents guys can take a lot of the headache out of it for you, and it just makes it nice. Now, as for the kids, again, when my boys were little, we were in kid mode, and we kind of did things that they enjoyed. We ate more often. We took rest times for them, made sure that we had one sit down meal during the day. As Amy said, one sit down meal during the day is a good thing to do, because if you're at Disney all day long and you do rope drop to kiss goodnight, it's a lot, and it's hard on littles. So it's hard on us.
I was going to say, it's
Yeah.
hard on Biggs.
So we have found that one at least, it doesn't have to be California Grill, just a table service, to sit, rest, have a drink, everybody, get a little food in your system, what have you, can really make a difference in your day. And we, with kids, again, we take snacks in. My favorite snack to take into Disney is Rice Krispie treats, the individually wrapped Rice Krispie treats. If you sit on them, it doesn't matter. If it's cold, it doesn't matter. If it's hot, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
They're fine. It's plus they're chewy, and so it tricks your stomach into thinking that there's something in it until you can actually eat. So
I agree.
Yep.
again, our planning has changed some. Jeff and I have been to Disneyland together. In California, we went for the opening of Galaxy's Edge out there in 2019. Fabulous trip. The first time we'd ever been into any Disney park, just the two of us. We loved it. Highly recommend that. Go as a couple, Last year I went solo, which was also a totally different trip. Your planning is going to change depending on the trip. It's like Russ said earlier, if you're planning for a whole group of people, my best suggestion there is be flexible and be prepared for some meltdowns.
Yep.
And just kind of go with the flow, because it's much harder planning for a large group like that. Whereas if it's just my husband and me, we blow and go. So it's different in each scenario, but all of them are great. All of them are good, because we've never had a bad time at Disney. So
Yeah.
that's how we do it.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, Chris, how about you?
Don gave my answer. So
This is why you two are separated.
Yep.
when I went, I guess, as adulting as a college student, it was before, the app and planning restaurants 80 days, 90 days out, whatever it was. But since we started going with the kids, I plan everything out. I would lay out the map, and I would lay out the restaurants and the fast passes and everything in a circle around the park, and what days we would have pool days and everything. I'll be honest, I'm really looking forward to going back adulting, and I'm not going to plan that much. I just want to go and chill. So I may book restaurants. I may book a few fast passes, but if that's available then. But for the most part, I just want to go and take it in. So
Welcome in, Tim Rumpel. Good to see you, buddy.
That's a good plan,
I
Chris.
still can't get used to the whole
Yeah.
wrong side. But yes, I agree. I think that's what I've decided on this trip coming up in May. I just want to meet more people this time. I mean, there's a lot of people down there I want to see too. So
well, there's a lot of that. I mean, that's one of the biggest reasons I want to go is to meet all of my new friends and new family. But there's a lot of places that I've never been because I plan everything in the parks. I would love to go and explore some of the resorts just to see them and take them in and do some of that dining that I've never done before.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of it. I mean,
That was something, and Russ knows this because we hung out together when we could and did. It was my first time on the Skyliner. It was my first time to explore all those resorts along the Skyliner, and having that. Now that's a huge tip, guys. Chris is 100% right on that. Plan for days, for non-park days, because there is so much to see in those resorts. You can do a monorail crawl. You can do a Skyliner crawl. You can go, to Disney Springs after the day. But it gives you a chance to slow down a little bit and say, you're not rushed. We have reservations on one of our non-park days to eat at the Grand Floridian, which I'm really looking forward to because I've never done it. So You know, so that those non-park days can be almost as fun, if not just as fun as your park
So, yeah,
days.
you can have just as much fun outside. I mean, you know, right now I
Yeah.
can't go to the parks, so I go to Disney Springs and I go to the resorts, and I'm still having just as much fun because you're still at Disney.
Mhm.
Right.
You know,
There's
Right.
still the Disney magic.
Yeah.
and that's the way it is right now too. With even with COVID, you know, things still happening to where you can't always get a reservation, and you've got to be flexible as far as, you know. Okay, well, I can't go here this day. What's something else I can do? You know, and it is very different. So
Absolutely. Real quick, Tracy Glenn, welcome in. Good to see you. Yes, guys, if you have not yet smacked that like button, show the stream some love, and welcome in. It skipped on me. Arlene, Adventures
Yeah, I
of
haven't
Arlene.
Hi,
been.
Arlene.
I've been to Disney Springs, but I only gone like once or twice since the new
Yep.
conception, and because I don't drag myself out of the parks, I'm there for the parks and I stay there. But if the park hours are closed and earlier, but then I see everybody going there, so now I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do in the evenings if it's crowded there
Mhm.
and stuff?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of new places at Disney Springs now I want to check out because
Yeah.
you've seen it on stream, and that's what those help.
Yeah.
I agree.
If anything has changed in the way we do Disney, that's it. The fact that our kids are grown, and we're gonna, you know, start doing that with grandkids now. But the you know, the rope drop to Kiss Goodnight, and just this, you know, hurry pace. We still love to do that, but again, we always plan in some rest days so that we can, you know, catch our breath. The trip is a little less hectic, and we can rest up and do some things that are outside the park. So building in those rest days is just a good idea.
And I would also say the same thing. You know, it depends on too how often you've been here, how often you
True.
are able to come. If this
True.
is your only trip
Yeah.
in your lifetime,
True.
then yeah, there's a lot you want to get done,
Yeah.
but you're never going to be able to get it all done because
Yeah.
there's so
Oh, yeah.
much to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's the thing too. You can make all the plans in the world, but don't let it ruin your trip
Right.
if you
Yeah.
can't do those certain
Do
things.
it all.
Excellent point.
That's the main thing. You know, you got to be flexible and you know, still have fun because you're Disney.
Picket Rule loves Disney. Welcome in.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the things.
I'll be
I
right
mean,
back.
we bought DVC, and one of the main reasons why we bought DVC was because of the fact that I wanted to be able to say, okay, if I don't get it done this trip, I'll be back. And that was the way that I
Right.
could believe in my heart that we would be coming back to my happy place. My husband, I've said it many, many times, I still believe he was very, very shocked when I said I want to buy DVC. And he's confirmed that. He said, yeah, I still don't believe it. But I don't plan days out of the parks. It's more of a case of, okay, we're going to go to the park for a couple of hours, and then we're going to go back to the hotel, or we're going to go to Disney Springs or something else like this. Maybe we'll go back to a park or another park in the afternoon or whatever. I've always done the park hopping. I mean,
I've always
a lot of people
Right.
say, well, I'm not going to bother getting park hopping because I'm not going to be park hopping, but I've always been a park hopper. There have been times when I've been to all 4 parks in one day and not even thought twice about it. And so, I mean, riding around on the buses, people might say, well, that doesn't seem like much fun. But to me, even riding around on the buses is still magical to me because we still got the
Disney
music.
transportation is just as fun. So.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing to me with the hassle of possibly park hopping is having to go back through security at certain parks.
Right.
Some parks, the
Right.
security moves fast, but sometimes you get the Epcot always seemed to be a log jam. Now I think they corrected it. I think since
It's gotten better from what I've
It's
seen
all
in
gotten
the
better.
streams, but yeah.
Wonderful World of Walter's dad, Mark, says that's the thing if this is your only trip of a lifetime, plan not to get it. Plan to not get it all done.
Oh,
Just
done.
expect that, because there's no, unless you stay for a month, and I don't think you could get it all done even if you stayed for a month. He says figure out your priority and focus on that.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, for people who don't go, but say every 5 years, you know, or every 10 years, or they may go once in a lifetime, to, you know, a lot of people who have never been have no idea how big Disney World is. They
Mhm.
really do not. They kind of picture something like Disneyland where the parks are connected and it's walking distance. No, that's
Yeah, they
that's
don't.
Or
not,
even
Well,
Universal. Yeah.
or even
But the-
Universal. And so it's you know, if you don't go very often, go ahead, do your homework. You know, lots of, you know, Disney channels here to help with that, YouTube videos, and again, the travel agents, you know, are a big help. But you know, it's when you go to, you know, when we go to Disney, our expectations are so high, and you know, when we go, we just kind of go with the flow. We've been so many times that, you know, we can deal with disasters and what have you. But people who don't go
You've
very
already
often,
experienced those meltdowns, and you know not to do it again.
and not, you know, and it just doesn't, you know, I'm at Disney. Hey, you know, I'm happy. Ain't nothing going to bring me down.
Exactly. That's why a
Just
lot of
like this
people
one.
even say about rain. You know, what do you do when it's raining? I'm like, okay,
still
it's
go.
raining.
You get
We'll
wet.
stay
It rains
ahead.
in Florida. Get used to it.
Full steam ahead. Exactly.
And it's
Yeah.
warm. It's a warm rain. It's not like here. I don't want to be in the rain up here because it's cold. But down there, it's like, okay, you know, it's
Yeah,
just,
there's
it's warm.
only been a couple times where it was December and like a bad storm had come through in the morning, and we were like, you know what, just sleep in. We'll go to breakfast and we'll head to the park a little bit later.
You
I
have to
Exactly.
be flexible. You have to
Exactly. That's
kind
what I
of
was
be
going to say,
flexible.
Don.
Yeah.
Be flexible. Yep.
Yeah.
And I thought Russ's idea was very good. No matter whether you're planning with children or planning with a group of adults, everybody, you know, have one thing that you definitely want to do,
Right.
and we'll work on that one thing, and everything else is gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
you can
that's a good-
also, when you're with other families and that, say, okay, we booked lunch at 3:00. If you want to be there, that's where we'll meet up and do whatever. You go do what you want to do.
That's
Right.
what, yeah, that's what
And-
we do when we
Right.
go with
And stuff.
even the adults, whether you're talking, I mean, we don't go with children, but yeah, even adults, it's a case of, okay, we're going to go to dinner. And we do
Right.
the same thing with the sit down. We do one sit down meal a day, you know,
Yeah.
whether it be Liberty Tree Tavern or Shula's, or, you
Right.
know, I can't think at the moment of a sit down that isn't like 4-star restaurant, but that's
I
me.
will say over the years for myself, lately my last few trips, they've been very short, like long weekend type of things. But back in the day and through the 90s and 2000s, I was there like a Friday night through the following weekend.
Right.
So I had more days in there that, you know, I could remember taking time. I'd go over to the Contemporary and rent off the boats and spend the afternoon and everything. And even before Animal Kingdom opened, I actually went to that little island, Discovery Island, and everything
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Chris, did you want to say something?
Sorry,
I was
Chris.
just going to say that's the problem I'm having right now in planning a trip, because when I was looking to plan a trip with my kids a couple of weeks ago, it was going to be about a 3, maybe 4 day trip. And if you're there for that short of a time and you can get into the park, do you really want to miss a park day? Because with
Yeah.
us, it may be once every other year or something. So it's kind of hard
Right.
with that. Whereas if I start going adulting trips, you know, kind of weekend stuff, it wouldn't be as much for me to miss a day in the park. But I think a big part of it is how long you're actually going to be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That my thing is, you know, I wanted to go in 2020. I wanted to do like a 2-week trip in 2020 with the kids. My husband was like, this is early 2019.
You should have come.
And my husband said, no, you know what? Let's just take a smaller trip and go in the fall. And I was like, all right. So we planned it, and I'm so glad we did. We planned a 6-day trip, and I'm so glad we did because everything in 2020 happened. We'll just say
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's
No.
just go with 2020 happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we would have missed the fireworks. We would have missed all the stuff that they've taken away, had we had waited. So, like, I kind of feel like when you're planning, when you don't go all that often, you're not an annual pass holder and you're just planning or DVC and you're just planning a trip. Maybe it's yearly, maybe it's bi-yearly. Take a long one if you can, if you could help it, so that you can fit more stuff
Right.
in, experience more
Right.
things, have those relaxing days, the down days. It's funny because, going back to single versus with kids, when we went on our honeymoon, we didn't eat breakfast. We slept in. We were on a honeymoon. We slept in. And then we would call up. We didn't understand the dining plan back then. We didn't understand how to do Disney properly. Because of this community, we learned quite quick. So we would just call up that morning, wake up, call it, pick a restaurant and call up and say, hey, can we book a reservation for here? Oh no, we're booked. Okay. We'll find someplace else. You know what I mean? And so it was spur of the moment. With the kids, I had everything planned out. I had all the meals planned out. I had a couple of windows open for quick service, or maybe if you want to do a snack instead of lunch, for instead of breakfast, things like that. It's really, you learn how to adapt to what your circumstances is.
Yes.
And I really enjoy that. So, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
when our first trip, I actually had friends of ours, a couple, another childless couple that we went down with, and she did all the planning for us. And I learned then, at least plan a meal, and that back in those days, you could make reservations and you weren't going to get charged if you didn't show up. Now, it wasn't that we wouldn't show up, because I thought that was mean. I always thought that was mean. So we would always cancel the reservation if we decided not to go. But we always had at least one sit-down meal planned every single day somewhere, because of the simple fact that we knew that we were going to, it was either going to be breakfast or I like to call it a brunch, because the fact that we would get the later reservation, like at 10 a.m. at BOMA, or like the champagne breakfast brunch at California Grill, or something where. But I like to do it where it was a later meal in the morning or an earlier meal in the evening, so that you could do like if you were having a later meal in the morning, then you would do like a snack, or like buy on the fly or eat on the fly in the evening, that kind of thing. Now, Tina, I don't know, Amy, the rest of you that have gone with kids, can you do that with children though? Or, I mean, can you plan it so that you're buying on the fly when you have children that
We had a hard time that we needed it, just because other people that were traveling with us were diabetic, so we had to make sure at least the one sit down, but we could do a lunch or a quick service later. So
I would say it might end up being a little bit more expensive when you're buying a la carte, because you're going to have to buy a little bit more food. But if you're only doing quick serve, that's going to be cheaper meals. Like I don't do this, even for an adult trip, I don't usually do a sit down meal, because I'm usually by myself. And it's weird going and sitting in a sit down restaurant by yourself. But, I will plan my day around. I will plan my day around a lot of my meals as to, okay, well, I want to try this certain thing. And so here's where I need to be by this certain time to go eat or whatever like that. But I think, for kids, it does definitely help with the dining plan because you do have that set. But then you also have to realize that, okay, I'm going to have to take probably at least 2 hours out of my trip or out of my day just to go eat this meal.
Yes.
Is it worth it?
Yes, exactly. And if you're going down, I don't know, children, do they sit well for sit down meals? Like, I mean, obviously are you going to want to take them to someplace where you're not going to take them to like Victoria and Albert's kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
now, the places we always took our kids was Ohana's. We did more dinners at Ohana's than breakfast, but we did breakfast. We did late Crystal Palace breakfast. We've gone to the Grand Floridian, character dining. We've done Chef Mickey's. But I've also, back in the day when you thought, okay, it wouldn't be hard to get reservations, my sister found themselves in Epcot trying to find a place to get into and couldn't get into it. So that was hard because they have quick service, but some of it is the country quick service. Mm-hmm. Kids aren't going to eat that. And they did eat in the American Pavilion, like before it became it wasn't the barbecue place it is now.
Yeah, it was hot dogs and hamburgers, right?
Well, so remember, I was saying when I went on my trip with my 13 people. So as part of, this is your one thing. If one of those was a restaurant, which most of the time that came from an adult,
Yeah.
True.
Okay, let's figure out how we can go to this restaurant. Well, what we ended up doing was we brought boxes of cereal and got milk and things for breakfast, Pop-Tarts and stuff like that. We would eat in the room.
Yeah, because all
lunch,
the rooms have refrigerators. So
for lunch, we would also either, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, something simple that you could snack on throughout the day. And if that was not enough to hold you over, which first off, congratulations, Tina.
Whoa!
Yeah, 400.
What just happened? I kept looking at the chat and I'm going, what are they talking about? I'm so sick of such a way. I was like, wait, what? I'm trying to focus. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
I love it when we do stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna cry. You guys are gonna make me cry.
No, don't cry. Not until you get to be 1,000 subscribers. Then you can cry.
Gosh. No, I honestly, I'm humbled by how many of you subscribe to me now. I at 1,000 subscribers, I think I'm gonna have a heart attack. I don't know.
No, don't do that because I firmly believe to infinity and beyond. I firmly believe all of you will have 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
if I have to single-handedly push and prod and pull everybody.
Thanks, Tina.
So, funny fact: we're getting 5 minutes away from 7. I don't want to trample over Disney Dan because he's on at 7, and I'm going to go hop on.
I think Chris might have had something to say.
Go ahead.
Like he was going to say something.
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay, sorry. It looked like you were like, hey.
No, he's probably grabbing a sad soundbite of some kind. Yeah.
But also, my sister, they now have timeshare, so they stay there. And depending on the time of year and the park hours and stuff, but we would always have breakfast back at the room because you could cook and do that, and then do a sit down in Disney, and then grab quick service depending on how late we're at the parks, or go to an off-site place by the timeshare. Like people asked Jeff about Wawa. I went there the last time I was with them because I was coming back late, needed gas in the car, and there was the Wawa, and I thought, oh, check out their subs. Yeah. People talked about them, and it was crowded there.
Yeah, so exactly. And that's the thing. When we go, we always stop at the grocery store on our way before we go in. We've never taken the Magical Express. We always have had car service or whatever, and we stop at the grocery store so that we can get some groceries. So. Got to get those M&Ms.
So Arlene has a special request. She says, can Tina take the old away and we can just call her Auntie Tina?
I can do that. For the next show, I'll do that. Thank you, Arlene.
We could seriously talk about this for another hour, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
I
Longer.
think we probably might have a part 2. I'm thinking because I still had
Yes.
more questions that we haven't even touched on, and so we'll plan that for when we've got the next 4 or 5 streams planned out, and so 5 streams. So sometime in May we'll come back and revisit it. I think because I think there's a lot to cover here. So, in chat, I love chat participation too. You guys are amazing. I was trying to highlight your comments. So, always feel free to participate in the chat. We want to hear what you guys think on any subject.
Yes, agreed.
Next week, no, not next week. April 10th is our next show. We're going to be discussing flying versus driving to Disney. So I think that'll be really interesting. Let's go around the horn real quick, and we'll start with Chris down here, and we'll work our way counterclockwise up. How's that? What do you have
Okay.
coming up on your channel?
I've got definitely I'll have tomorrow 3:30 the NASCAR stream from Bristol.
NASCAR mud wrestling.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
See mud wrestling.
Yeah.
Tina's will be there, and we're hoping it's going to be a good game with great players. And
Right.
maybe Russ is going to drop in hopefully after Nerd Talk. So, yeah, and I'll probably be on with Shep tonight. Who knows? So that's about it.
Awesome.
And I dropped the Star Wars trailer earlier today for tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Saw that.
Yep. And Dawn, how about you, Miss Hitchhiking Bones herself?
Yes, I dropped a video this morning. I'm starting to put together the vlogs from our Hawaii trip where we went to Hawaii and stayed the first part of the week at Pilila'au Army Rec Center, which was wonderful. And then the last 2 nights we stayed at Aulani. So I'm starting to put together vlogs from that. I dropped a vlog this morning from the Dole Plantation. We spent like a half a morning there, and I tried the Dole Whip. So that's a little piece of that. Going to do a video
so delicious.
on the full. Again, guys, watch the video to for my reaction. But it was delicious. And then I've got another. I'm still trying for the Haunted Mansion mystery pin set. I like one. They're like, instead of 8 pins, I like one. And so I've still got a couple of packs that I can open. So I'm going to put those up. And then of course we have Hitchhiker Chat on Tuesday nights from it's 9:00 Central, 10:00 Eastern. So that's what we've got going on, and just having a good time. And we have a Disney trip coming up in April. So really excited about that.
Awesome. Sounds great. All right, Amy, how about you?
I go live at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. And a lot of times it depends. I sometimes will do trivia. It just depends on, okay, did I plan something or not? And trivia, usually I fall back on a lot more than anything. Last week, I just decided to do a drive stream because it was nice. And somebody had asked in the chat, do you go to one of those candy stores? So I took them to Grandpa Joe's candy store and did that. I'm hoping with the nicer weather, I'll be able to do earlier things on my way home from work and show some museums or the science center or even down by the river.
Where's Tracy?
I was gonna say, go get Tracy. Take him with you.
Walking across the bridges or something. But I do go live 6 p.m. Wednesdays. Sometimes I will do a surprise stream. Either I have some Legos I'm going to finish building and also do trivia. So look for that. Make sure you have the notification bell rung.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Guys, go check out AGC Magic TV, Hitchhiking Bones, Dad Builds, and next up, my partner channel. Russ, what do you got coming up?
So tomorrow at 3 p.m. On Kinsey Day's channel, we'll be doing our Nerd Talk that we do every Sunday. And we'll be discussing episode 2 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And so there will be some spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. We will be discussing the full episode. And then on next Saturday at 3 for my normal show, we're going to be doing a Skyliner crawl scavenger hunt. and we'll be going all over anywhere basically that connects to the Skyliner. You guys are going to have to give me clues, and I have to go
Wow.
find whatever you send me. And
That
so we'll
could
be
be
bouncing
fun.
all over the place, having a lot of fun. So
Right.
kind of it's Easter weekend, and so we'll have kind of our Easter egg hunt, and
Sounds like fun.
should be fun. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. You guys are making me blush over here with all the hearts in the chat.
All
Thank
the
you so
hearts.
much. I'm on the verge of tears. I'm gonna be a blubbering mess tonight. So please, I appreciate every single one of you. To all my new subscribers, thank you so much for even subscribing. Thank you for bopping that like button if you have. Thank you for bopping the dislike button if you have.
There's
You just-
dislikes. Oh no.
I don't know. I haven't checked. I don't want to know. There's always no. There's none yet. But
here comes Meanie McNeil.
the night.
Yeah.
Thank you to all my mods. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Arlene's bopping those links in there like crazy. Thank you so much. And thank you guys just for sharing out the streams and everything. You guys are just amazing. Go check out Disney Dan with a Z, no space in between Disney and Dan. He's on right now. And go show him some love. So have a great night, everyone. Know that you are loved and appreciated and that you are a blessing. Think of a
And
wonderful
I'm always watching.
thought. Tina's always watching. That's right. Think of a wonderful thought. Any merry little thought.
Thanks, Tina. Thanks for having us.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys so much.